My husband, Mason, a smooth-talking charmer with a magnetic personality, was the one who first told me about the idea of slow living. We were in love, and our life was like something out of a fairy tale. We painted a beautiful picture of love and friendship that made our family and friends happy. We didn't have to wait long before we saw how much slow living had changed our lives. Our days went from being busy and rushed to being calm and thoughtful. The busyness of our old lives went away as we learned to enjoy each moment and find happiness in the smallest things. Our relationships with the people around us got stronger, and we learned to appreciate the beauty of nature and the small details of our surroundings more. As our lives slowed down, we found a new level of happiness and quality that we never could have imagined. We started to realize that true happiness doesn't come from getting more stuff, but from the experiences and relationships we value and take care of along the way. We got married in a very simple way. Only our closest family members and friends were at the small party. The decorations were wildflowers that were picked by hand, and the event was held in a beautiful, quiet park nearby. We said our heartfelt vows under a canopy of trees while listening to the wind and birds as our very own natural soundtrack. We shared a small homemade cake with the people we love to show how sweet our future will be. As the sun went down, we danced the night away under a blanket of twinkling stars, enjoying every moment of our special day. Mason loved the idea of living a simple life. He was drawn to the peace that it offered, and he found comfort in a simple view of life. But I had no idea that the charming simplicity he preached would be the thing that made me lose trust in him. We went abroad for our honeymoon. We saw beautiful landscapes and learned about different ways of life. Together, trying delicious food and finding hidden gems made memories that will last a lifetime. As we explored old cities and looked at the beautiful buildings, our love grew stronger. We became closer than ever because of the amazing things we did together, and we couldn't think of a better way to start our life together as a married couple. It was a magical time, full of laughter, joy, and new experiences that gave us a great start for our future together. Mason does this strange thing. At the time, I thought it was cute, but now that I think about it, it was a huge red flag that I completely ignored. He will stop for a moment and ask me,
"Can you promise me that you'll always be there for me no matter what?"
and I'll say with great excitement, "Together, we'll go on a lot of adventures and face any challenges that life throws at us. We'll beat them with unwavering determination and courage." Also, I will say, "Let's build a friendship that goes beyond just being friends, and let's go into a partnership where the depths of our friendship remain unfathomable." From our wedding to our honeymoon, I was so busy that no one or anything else around me mattered. If I had paid more attention, I might have seen signs. I didn't notice the subtle signs that our relationship was changing, but they were there. In the middle of planning and carrying out such a big event, I forgot about the small moments and interactions that had made us close before. The happy laughter and heartfelt conversations that used to fill our days together were slowly replaced by the monotonous hum of logistics and planning. I wish I had paid more attention to those signs and taken the time to really appreciate and take care of the relationship we had promised to cherish and grow. So after the wedding, we took off for France, where we would spend our honeymoon. Friends and family didn't know where we were going, just that we were moving out of the country. So as soon as we set foot in France, we were swept away by the country's enchantingly romantic atmosphere. We decided to start our exciting adventure in Paris, which is often called the City of Love. We picked a cute little villa on the outskirts of the city, away from the noise and crowds, but didn't tell our friends and family. After all the fun and excitement of the wedding, the peace and quiet of this place seemed like a nice change. We were excited to enjoy the French culture and, more importantly, each other's company, enjoying the sweet cacophony of newlywed bliss and exciting travel. We were ready to make the most of our trip to France by walking along the cobblestone streets, looking at the art, and tasting the food. All this time, we kept our explorations a secret from our friends and family back home, who were always asking where we were. I told my best friend Nancy where we were going to be in France. Nancy is more than just a relative. She was very good at running a business. In fact, she had started from scratch and built an empire, which made her a respected businesswoman in the area. She knew a lot about France, especially the places we wanted to go. This made her the best person to talk to about our upcoming trip. Nancy told us about the best neighborhoods to stay in, and she also knew about great restaurants and special events that could make our trip even better. We felt so lucky to have Nancy in our lives because she was an important part of our journey and helped us through every step of our trip to France. She also gave my younger sister Mabel a job as an accountant and made her her apprentice. On top of that, Nancy has also taken my younger brother Danny under her wing. He got a job as a researcher from her. Just like Mabel, Danny gets a lot out of the knowledge and tricks of the trade that Nancy has picked up over her long career. At home, some roles have switched. Even though Mabel and Danny are the youngest, they are now teaching everyone else what they have learned. They no longer need us to help them take care of themselves. Instead, they help our mom make her monthly budget. The mentoring they've gotten at their jobs has definitely broadened their horizons and improved their ability to solve problems, which is clear in how they go about their daily lives. After some soul-refreshing sex the first night of our honeymoon, I fell asleep quickly. The sound of waves crashing on the shore and the smell of salt water and sweet tropical flowers helped our tired bodies relax. It felt like the weight of the world had been lifted, and we were free to explore and enjoy each other's company without worrying about anything. The dimly lit room was filled with soft fabrics and small touches of paradise, which made for a very romantic and close atmosphere. There, in that magical place, we made a bond that would last for the rest of our lives, through all the adventures and experiences we would have. At first, we were going to be charged for 5 nights in France. The schedule was jam-packed with things to do, like food tours, visits to chateaux, and picnics on the Azure Riviera in the afternoon. The streets of Paris were supposed to be filled with our laughter late into the night, and the quiet beauty of the countryside was supposed to give us a break from the busy life of the city. Alas, in reality, the trip was a whirlwind of work. There were a lot of business meetings, so there wasn't much time for leisure or sightseeing. The expected bouquet of experiences turned out to be just a few fleeting moments squeezed in between work commitments. But France's charm was still enough to leave us with some memories that we will never forget. But I didn't ignore the fact that the night shift receptionist looks at Mason and me with disgust every time I leave with him. Could it be that she doesn't like how happy I am now? The smart part of me kept a close eye on her actions, small expressions, and small movements. Even though she was acting like a professional, I could see a hint of disdain in her face. When Mason's arm was in mine, her eyes would silently follow us and shoot poison darts at us. Could it be that her heart had a wish she hadn't said out loud? There was no solid evidence to back up my crazy theory, but I had a feeling that she was angry with me behind my back. The sharp lines on her face and the way she looked at us suggested that she didn't like us being together. Or maybe she was holding up a mirror to her own unrealized dreams. As these thoughts continued to bother me, I told Mason what was going on. His laughter rang through the quiet night, and he told me not to worry.
She's just doing her job. Let her be.
I really do understand how you feel. Our kind is the only one that has this amazing ability to see what's going to happen and plan ahead to avoid it. It seems to be a part of what it means to be a woman. It's like a soft but firm whisper that nudges us just before we step into a trap. It flares up slowly but surely, guiding our steps away from the looming disaster, even when it's just a small dark dot on the horizon of many possibilities. We don't just see that trouble is coming, though. We also feel it, sense it, and it sends ripples through the calm pool of our intuition. And it's usually right, if not always. It's like a guardian who is always watching out for us in this harsh world. But I couldn't just ignore the growing feeling that the receptionist's disdain went beyond normal work relationships and was more like a silent bystander watching my relationship with Mason grow. I wasn't sure if it was just a hunch or a horrible truth, but these things happening one after the other took away some of my happiness. On the third night, I was fast asleep, but I could still hear the phone. When I woke up, I didn't want to answer.
"Hello, madam. If it's not too much trouble, could you tell me where your husband might be?"
I asked. I think he's on his way to the gym for his nightly workout. Why do you want to know? Can I help you with anything?
Well, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'd rather risk losing my job to set someone else free than to do nothing. I've left you an electronic key by your doormat. The room number is written on the key. Get to that room by using the electronic key. The rest will all make sense.
Many thanks. I told her what I thought and then hung up. I couldn't even close my eyes, let alone go to sleep after that call. After having a fight with myself and thinking about what my next step should be, I tried to give answers to all of the following. Is my new husband already cheating on me? Who are you? How will he explain it? So I finally got up, got the courage, went outside, got the key, and went straight to room 13, which was 3 floors below us. With my hand shaking because I was afraid of seeing something awful, I used the key to open the door and then boom, there he is, laying on top of another woman butt naked. What in the name of God is going on here? Why? How did I mess up? Mason, you don't have to treat me this way. As I lay in bed after the call, I had the funny thought that it could be Nancy, my best friend, and I wouldn't be as surprised as I am now because Nancy has made jokes about how much she liked Mason. Never in a million years did it ever cross my mind that it could be Mabel. She is also having a mini honeymoon right under my nose. Oh my God, I am beyond crushed. What the hell are you doing here? I yelled at the top of my lungs. I had so many questions that I didn't know where to begin. I burst into tears. I went to my room and started getting ready to move by packing my bags. These folks had a lot of explaining to do when they get back home. Will they even get back home to the shame they have created? I got home without my husband and my sister. Till today, we don't know their whereabout. It was later I discovered my husband is highly indebted with massive credit card debt of about $3 million. Jesus, my sister has been taken for a ride. Mason is basically living off women.